Hello again. This is my second video, and this is take two. I did a video a couple days ago, and I got off on different tangents, and I didn't really have a script written down of what I wanted to end up saying. Anyway, on this one, I want to cover motivation and goals, and they go hand in hand, in my belief. Now, in the previous video, I stated that I had gone down this getting fit road in previous years. Back in 2010, I had a stroke, and at my worst, I was using a walker to get around. And very soon after that, I was walking on a treadmill, and then proceeded to get out and walk lots on just in the neighborhood on the sidewalk. Anyway, check that video out for more details. But through, I guess to recap, in 2012, let's back up. 2010, after my stroke, I made it a goal to run a marathon within a year of that goal, of that date. And I did sort of achieve that. Let's say I did achieve that. And so then in the next 2 years, I was very active. And then since that time, I've become a bit of a couch potato, and now here I am again thinking I got to do it all over again. And I'm going to do it over again. So motivation and goals. Getting motivated is very important, obviously. And I did find that setting goals was very helpful, very helpful. At the time, I had no idea. And we've all heard things like that before. You got to write them, make your goals, write them down. And I agree. And I didn't believe it before. I thought, oh well, I don't need to write it down, you know. But there's something I found very helpful with that. So, and really, what's your main goal? Everybody's got to decide what their main goal is. Like, what am I meaning? Well, for me right now, I haven't actually written it down, but I want to become more fit. I want to get into the realm of the right weight for my height, and have like right now I'm over 300 pounds, and I want to get down to around 220. And probably by the stuff you look up on the internet, at that weight, and for my height of 5'11", I would still be considered overweight. For sure I'd be overweight, maybe even obese. But anyway, that's my kind of a main goal. I want to get down to 220. And now that's the nuts and bolts. But what do I really want? Well, I want to be able to go out with my grandson and play road hockey, you know, or throw a ball around, kick a ball. He's taken up soccer. I'd like to do that, you know. And I'm in my I'm 67. You know, I don't want to. I want to be around for and in good physical shape for the next 15 years. Like, you know, why not at least reach for 80 at least to be and still be physically able to do stuff. So that's the stuff that's I got to think about that stuff. The alternative is, if I keep going the direction I've been going for the last 8 years at the same pace, I'm not going to be around when I'm 80. And, you know, do I want to be around to see my grandkids graduate and see their children have some great grandchildren? You betcha I do. So that's my main goal. And you know, all this talk about goals, well, the main goal, maybe we should call it something else. Have you ever heard of these motivational speakers talk about a mission statement? Well, I sure have, and I don't know if it's appropriate, but maybe let's change that main goal to something like our mission. If you can think of something better to call it, that's fine. But just differentiate it from weekly goals and monthly goals and yearly goals. These weekly goals that we're going to talk about, if you don't make them, it's no big deal. You know, you just do better next week or whatever. I mean, I don't want to downplay the importance of reaching your weekly goals, but it's not the end of the world. But the end of the world could be if you fall off the wagon and you quit trying. That's, we write our mission statement in concrete or whatever, and your goals are maybe in sand, that kind of thing. Leave a little room for life in your weekly goals. And so I've got some notes here I'm referring to. So anyway, if I mention mission statement, that's what I mean. I want to be healthy and fit and live till I'm 80, or be fit till I'm 80. So now goals are periodic and something to aim at. So if you don't have a goal of, say, I'm going to go out and walk, like for me, I'm walking right now. That's my activity of choice. I'm going to talk a little more about that later on. But for now, let's just think about walking. That's for me. You can substitute it if you want. But this week, without writing anything down, kind of in my mind, I was thinking, I'm going to go out and walk every day this week. And I thought about this on Monday. I didn't go out Sunday. Monday. So I went out Monday and I walked 2 kilometers just around the neighborhood. And then I think Tuesday I did 2.5 and then 2.7 on Wednesday, 2 on Friday, and then today I did 2.9. Okay, so now I didn't write them down, and that was because things were just starting, and I just hadn't got into the habit, or hadn't got all my ducks in a row, but I still did something. But now I've already set a goal for next week. I want to walk 13K. So I haven't specified that I'm going to walk Sunday or Monday or Tuesday. I want to do 13K, but I know logically that if I don't contribute towards that goal every day, then I'm going to leave a big chunk for the next day or the rest of the week. And so I'm probably, just with my personality, I know that I'm not going to, I have a tendency to procrastinate, so I'm going to get ahead of it. And now Sundays, we've got stuff, an activity planned with the family, so I'm not going to plan on a walk tomorrow. But I did about 14K this week, so if I do that 2.5K 6 days a week or 5 days, I'm going to be fine. I'll figure it out. But so that's my weekly goal. And now when I think back to 2012, now I'd had a year of getting fit. I run a 10K in 2011, and I ran a marathon in my neighborhood in 2011, within the year of my stroke. But I was still newer at it, and you go to the bookstore and you buy something about getting fit and running a marathon and stuff. There's a lot of stuff to read and a lot of stuff to absorb. So I was a little more educated by 2012, and leading in through the Christmas holidays, I made a goal to run 2,012 miles, not kilometers, miles, in the year 2012. I thought, well, that's a pretty cool goal. And then, of course, I entered it in my goal where I write things down as kilometers, and that worked out to 32 or 3,400 kilometers. And again, that was for the whole year. And so then for January, I set a goal. I forget, I've got it all written down, and I'll refer to it in the future. But I had a goal of running probably about 300 kilometers in January. And so I broke 300 kilometers into 4 and come up, if you got to do about, about 80 kilometers a week? Probably 80 kilometers a week. So that's only 5 times as much as I'm doing now. But at the time where I was at the end of 2011, I had a background of doing stuff, and I knew that it wouldn't, if I kept doing a little bit every day, or it was all stuff I was used to doing, And just the fact I wrote it down, I did my 2012 miles, or 3,200 clicks, in August or September. I was done. And and then I'm just gonna leave it at that and get back to the rest of the story later, because it's, I think, a better fit. So, but if I hadn't been writing these goals down and thinking about goals, and they motivated me more than anything. They just did. And you can believe me or you can think I'm stupid or whatever, that's fine. But if you really, I'd suggest just get open-minded, and maybe you're a person that's always doing goals and stuff like that, and you already realize this, and if you are, that's great. So that's what I got to say about that. And now, not related to that is, I'm going to say, now for me, I wrote down next week's goals today, and I'm going to, we're in, I think it's week 22 or week 21. I just, in my goal sheet, I called it whatever it was, week 22, I can't remember. And that's by Thursday or Friday of this coming week, I'm going to use my current week's achievements and I'm going to think about the current achievements when I'm making my goal for the next week after that. And so, but the point I want to make is set your goals in advance. Don't wait till it's Sunday or Monday and then you're going to set your goal. Set your second goal before the time frame of your first goal is up. And then, of course, the third goal you make it before your second goal's done. And then if you want, do a monthly goal. I don't necessarily think you should start there right now if you're a newbie and I don't know what level you're at. But I'm not going to set my monthly, well, here we're at the 22nd of May, so maybe by the 29th of May I'll set a goal for June, my monthly goal. But I'm not going to set a yearly goal. I don't have any plans on that at this point. And then still keeping with goals, when from week to week, you're going to evaluate how your current week is and use that information in helping you set the goal for the week following. And I'm going to suggest that you don't increase it more than 10%. That's, I've read in books, and books that were written by people that know much more than me. And I guess the whole thing is you want to get to that mission statement. You know what, you want to achieve that big goal and get fit. And if you try to accelerate your fitness too fast, too soon, you're setting yourself up for getting unmotivated and failure. So, and your body can only, if like right now with me walking those 2.5 kilometers a day, or like today I did 2.9, I think it was. I feel a little bit. That's pretty sad. I used to run 100 kilometers a week. Run, not walk. And now I'm doing, I'm thinking, 14 is what I achieved this week. So, but I can't get to where I was 8 years ago in a month. I got to do it slowly. Otherwise, your body's going to react, and you're going to have all kinds of problems. Every part of your body, digestion and your aches and pains, and you'll have your ankles or knees will be swelling, and it'll just be miserable. So don't do that. 10% a week, or even 5. And now, how do I write my goals down? I don't use a piece of paper and a pen. Now, if you are a piece of paper and pen kind of person, that's fine. Do it. I got it. My daughter, she doesn't. She likes paper and a pen. It helps her think. It helps her plan. And I don't. I don't like papers and pens. I just find it frustrating. I'll lose it. My writing sucks, and I'll figure out, like 20 years ago, that's all I had. That's all we had. I had a notebook and a pen in my pocket all the time. But I use, well, I'll tell you what I use right now on my watch, Apple Watch. And when I go out for a walk, I just tap on a couple of buttons, and activity is called walking or whatever. Don't have to be too specific here. And it as soon as I hit the walking thing, it goes 3, 2, 1. You kind of a countdown, and the watch starts counting, keeping track of what I'm doing, and I start walking. So it's very easy for me. But if you're not technological, don't even worry about how many kilometers. Just look at your watch and note it's 2:30, and you're going to go for a 15-minute walk. But maybe your goals then are going to be to walk for 2 hours a week instead of 14 kilometers. That's fine. And then just do it. Anyway, I'm going to tell you what I do. So I got my Apple Watch, and it's okay, but it's not the greatest. But that's what I got now. Back in 2011, when I was starting to get more and more into this stuff, and because technology was always a fascination of mine, just having the technology motivated me some. Or it motivated me for lots, maybe, let's just say. I loved it. I had a Garmin watch that was, was made just to wear when you were walking or running, and it had a chest strap on with a heart monitor, which the heart monitor communicated to the watch with Bluetooth or some darn technology, and that's what I wore. But that type of watch, it would only keep, the battery life on it was maybe 10 hours, and it wasn't something you wore all day like the Apple Watch. You can wear it, you wear it day and night. But anyway, this Garmin watch was an activity tracker, so it would work for swimming and cycling and walking, running, that sort. And it worked really well. It kept track of lots of things, and lots of data. And the tracking system, the Garmin Connect website, if you Google that, Garmin Connect, you don't have to have a Garmin product to use this website. Sign up for a free account, and then you can enter your daily activities in there. Now I'm going to use that because I've got a lot of my activities from 2011 and 12 and 13, and I did a little activity in 2018, and now I started now, and I'm just going to continue using it because I'm familiar with it, and number two, I guess I haven't found anything I like better yet. Maybe someday I'll get another Garmin watch that's that I'll wear specifically when I'm going out for a walk, run, whatever, so I don't have to manually take data off my Apple Watch or my Apple app. But right now it takes me, maybe a minute to probably in 10 minutes today, I put my week's worth of walks into the Garmin Connect, and all the fields that I really want are there. So it's not a big deal. But that's how I looked after it. You could use an Excel spreadsheet or just write it on paper, but do it somewhere, track it, and make new goals. That's the bottom line. If you want to do it the old ways, paper and pen, and adding machine, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just do it. Whatever floats your boat. As long as your boat's floating, who cares? Okay, and I mentioned back in 2011 I had a Garmin and really liked it, and I would love to get another one. They're a little pricey. Well, of course, Apple, everything's pricey. Oh, and I'll maybe say, too, I had a Fitbit, and it was fine, too. I think a Fitbit, They're a lot cheaper than Apple Watch, a lot cheaper than Garmin, and they do a pretty fair job. I think they're better they're better fitness tracker than Apple Watch. I would recommend Apple Watch over Fitbit for activity tracking, that's for sure. Of course, Apple Watch does a little more, and that's another video. I'm not trying to promote any one thing. I'm promoting get yourself fit, get motivated. And don't look at where I'm at now. We'll look at what I achieved in the previous years, and that gives me the hope and optimism that I know how to do it, and I know, like as I sit here right now, I have the ability to get there again. And I'm gonna, if anybody sees this video on YouTube and joins me for the adventure, we'll try to get there together. I really, the motivation is to help others, and of course, I want to help myself, and by posting this on YouTube, I'm hoping it's going to inspire me to keep at it more for my own benefit, but also if I can help others, that's going to be super motivating too. And I got one last point here. 21 minutes into it, so getting long and not long in a longer video than ideal probably, but so far I'm talking only about walking, and really that's all I'm concentrating on now for me, for myself. And when I say walking, and eventually like pretty soon I might start doing some jogging. And I remember back in 2011, maybe even 2010, when I started thinking about running on the treadmill. I was thinking I would do 2-minute intervals, and I would run for maybe 45 seconds and then walk for 1:15. And I had an old watch. Well, it wasn't new at the time, but it was an old-fashioned watch. But it would beep every 2 minutes. And it would beep at 45 seconds and beep again at the 2 minutes. And I would speed up the treadmill from what my run pace was to what my recovery pace was. So I would again, just run for 45 seconds and walk for 1:15. And that's where I remember that's where I started getting into running. And we'll talk more about running in another video. I'll leave it at that. So running and walking, that's what I'm concentrating on now, and really just walking right now. But I know what I need to add into my weekly routines is going to be some exercising. Things like push-ups or sit-ups, that kind of thing. For me, I couldn't do a sit-up right now. I have a hard time getting up off the floor if I'm on, say, down on my hands and knees, two hands on the floor, to getting up. And that started when I had my stroke, and I never really recovered from that. But I know with just getting down on, maybe get a yoga mat on the floor or something, or get onto a mat of carpet on the floor instead of on the hardwood. We'll just do a routine of going down on my hands and knees and getting up. That would be one of my exercises. Another one would be deep knee bends, where I may be hanging onto a countertop and squatting down and then standing up. And then adding in things like push-ups, or what's that called now? Well, they call them curl-ups, I guess. And then there's like push-ups where you put your knees on the floor instead of your toes, and just to make it easier. But I need to do those kind of things, because of course, those activities are really what I'm noticing I can't do very well. And working in the garden or in the yard, just getting up from kneeling on the ground, it's laughable. It's so sad, it's laughable. And anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. Please like, subscribe, and leave me some comments. I know it's going to be quite a while before I even get anybody seeing these videos, but I know it'll be very welcome. I'm gonna feel really good if I get some feedback, and tell me if you're in my situation and you want to if you have similar desires as me, or maybe you're totally fit and you want to help cheer on somebody that isn't. Okay, so I guess I maybe will say today too is May 22nd. I'm not sure when I'm going to publish this. It might be later than that date. Obviously will be, but just to give you some context. Okay, check out my first video. It was uploaded a week ago. Okay, bye for now.